Hello everybody and welcome back to LMM. By now you'll probably have seen our video on the Greatest Gathering where I took my locomotive to take part in the single biggest gathering of locomotives in the UK perhaps ever. And as part of this once-in-a-lifetime show, there were a good amount of miniature and model railways, and whilst this video is in no means a complete guide to all of them, it will give you a bit of a flavour of what there was there on the day. So without any further ado, let's go and check out the model railways. Upon entering the building with the model railways, I didn't get far before I was distracted by the brand new buck jumpers by Scale, and these look absolutely stunning. But after ogling the model for some time, I managed to drag myself away and head further into the show. There were a huge amount of layouts on display, and this alone would have been worth the trip to Derby, excluding the huge amount of full-size rolling stock that was outside. In fact, there was frankly too much to be able to see in a single day. The layouts alone would have taken up a good morning, and it wasn't just layouts, as there were traders and manufacturers in attendance as well. Being a connoisseur of a good bargain, Loz and I made our way straight to the Ellis Clark stand, where they had some of their famous rummage boxes. For those of you who have never experienced the joy of an Ellis Clark rummage box, it's full of lots of items of model railway gubbins, all individually packed, all at ridiculously low prices. And for someone like me, it was just too good to say no to. And it was full of weird and wonderful things, like this Great Western van with a brake compartment built into it. The first layout that we got to have a look at was the Gauge 1 live steam layout by the Gauge 1 Association. But when we looked at it, the show hadn't actually opened yet, so they were yet to be running any live steam. What they were running, however, was this superb model of Locomotion No. 1, with a train similar to that of what it pulled on its famous first train, which of course is the event that we are celebrating with Rail 200. It was a super model with lots of fine detail of all the motion as it went along. And then coming the other way was an LMS 060 tank engine, showing what could be achieved in this larger gauge and just how superb the locomotives and stock look. Meanwhile, I'd been assembling quite a haul of 00 and HO gauge stock and locomotives, and if you want to find out just what I got, check out the video that's coming up on the screen now. Do you need a basket?
Yes, I do actually.
What was running steam, however, was this layout operated by the Butterley Garden Railway Association. Heading to 00 was Wellby Lane Railway Technical Centre, and the idea behind this was something I'd never come across. Whilst the layout itself is fictional, it's taken inspiration from several of the actual test centres and test tracks. So you see a wide variety of prototype locomotive with scratch-built or converted stock to represent those test vehicles. It's a really interesting layout, particularly to see the items of stock that I've never seen modelled before, and it is really something completely different, and I really appreciated all the little touches. There was even a maglev that worked. Staying with 00 and visiting a dockside was Cannock Road Quay. It's set in the southern region somewhere between 1946 and 1949. It's not meant to represent a particular area of the famous Southampton docks, but rather give a flavour of this well-known location.
So Simon and I, we were set up.
Continuing with 00 was St John's, a fictional location somewhere in Devon on the Great Western Railway, having a variety of stock from Great Western days through to the western arm of British Railways. Continuing the theme of 00 gauge is Harefield Road, modelling the country end of the Metropolitan line of the London Underground. It's a fictitious location based on a proposed but never built station, and I always love to see something a little bit different being modelled. And staying with 00 and third rail electrification is Collingwood, based loosely around Fareham Station on the Southern Network. It's meant to represent an August bank holiday weekend where there are engineering works, meaning that there is a wide variety of different trains being sent through this junction. It was built to reflect the privatised railway on an average day and how the modern day railway actually operates. My favourite feature of this layout were the bridges that cross over the river. I always like a bit of elevation on my model railways to make it seem that it isn't just track on a board, and this one does it really well. And I absolutely love how busy this little bit of railway was. There was always something coming in or out of the platform. As well as plenty of layouts and traders, some of the big manufacturers were also in attendance, including Hornby, who had brought their test layout along with some samples of their current range, including the 00 prototype Deltic, one of the Flirts, and the new sound-fitted J52. Moving further on was Hornby Magazine's 12 Trees, set on the southern region on the approach to London sometime in the 1960s, meaning there's a wide variety of steam, electric and diesel traction employed across the layout. Still with 00 was Dead Man's Lane, based around Network Rail's Derby base, featuring lots of engineering train and other weird items of rolling stock. The final layout that I got to have a look at was Making Tracks 3, the largest layout that you're going to see on the exhibition circuit. This thing is absolutely colossal, representing a proper section of main line with full-length trains running along at proper scale high speeds. It's the only layout that I've ever been able to watch a train legitimately disappear into the distance rather than disappearing behind a cutscene. It's absolutely something that you have to witness because the sheer scale of it just does not come across on video, and it's an absolutely bonkers undertaking that is a flurry of activity as trains hurtle up and down.
I mean, I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, the twist is on the loading. This is the weakness of any end.
I suppose the notice then, a couple of notices come off of it. The front one comes off, and that's again in the end.
Stop there, I
Having enjoyed many of the model railways, I returned to the 48, leaving Tom and Dave to continue exploring the site, where they came across this colossal miniature railway, taking up almost the entirety of the workshop. There were a wide variety of locomotives and stock running, and a huge marshalling yard in the centre where trains could come in, other wagons split, a new train formed, and then head out again. And there was even a shed with a turntable where locomotives could be stabled in between their turns. It was absolutely mesmerising to see this main line in miniature. There was also a section of raised track offering rides to the public behind this austerity.
containment zone is short means use.
There were also a good number of other locomotives, some work in progress, on display, and as tempted as the chaps were to go for a ride, they decided it was time to return to the 48, because Loz and I had bought Tom a gift. So we went and spent money at Ellis Clark, but because you weren't there with us, we thought that you can't spend your own money. So what we've done is we spent money for you.
But that relies on me then giving you the money, which I'm under no obligation. What have you done? What is this?
We got you another loco.
Have you?
So we thought you didn't have enough locos.
No, I don't. What is it?
It's a Loco.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a 25.
The man told us it's a diesel.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like the 26 over there, but it's a 25, not a 26, but it's like a 27 or a 26, but it's a
just
25.
a number.
I see.
Yeah.
Am I sort of guessing that what is in this box is not what it says is in the box?
No, legitimately, we went...
Have a look, have a look.
Oh, I see.
But in
Is
other
this
words,
my present?
you should...
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Oh.
Because you told us to buy you something.
Yeah, so we did. We
So
spent a
we
lot
did
of
a
time
told.
looking to
Thank
buy
you,
you
friend.
something.
Friend,
You didn't ask us to buy
Max,
something.
Max,
However, you
Max,
should go
Max.
to Ellis Clark.
Oh, that's nice.
25 quid.
I thought we'd done pretty well, as this was Tom's first British Railways era model, and as you can tell by the look on his face, he was very impressed indeed and truly loved his model. And with that brings us to the end of this video looking at some of the models and miniature railways at the Greatest Gathering. As I said at the start, it's by no means an exhaustive list of everything that was there, more a quick bit of what we could grab as we were having a look around. As most of you who visited the show will know, there was far too much to see in a single day, which I actually think is brilliant. I think putting on an event with so much stuff there that you hadn't got a chance of seeing it all was far better than going there, seeing all of it in a morning going, was that it? Leave people wanting more, and the Greatest Gathering really did that. And I thought it was super. It was a great model show regardless of everything else. So with that, thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the model railways, and if you did enjoy that, how about clicking over there for our video on the preview of the Greatest Gathering, or down there to see the models that I bought from the show. And with that, well, thank you all very much for watching, and this will be the last video of our little bit on the Greatest Gathering, so we'll be back to more regular content following this. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Ta-ra!